by Brian Browning.
But Brian Browning, a small running back, he gets a big linebacker like Jody Reinhold moving as fast as he is on a field like this. Watch the cut he makes. Reinhold is just running to the sideline thinking he's going to try to use the sideline as that 12th man to help him, but a good job by Browning getting back.
First down at the UNLV 26. Pitch to Lafayette Shelton, and he's upended at the 20-yard line by Charles Anthony just when he was breaking into the clear.
Shelton shows great speed. A lot of times a back, when he gets the ball, he can wait and set his blocks up, and there you can see Shelton do that exact same thing and then burst when he sees the open field.
Lafayette's having a fine game. 6 carries, 44 yards, one of them a 15-yard TD run. Lafayette Shelton trying to overcome early season difficulties. He had a dislocated elbow, and he's been very good helping Jeff Graham and that offensive attack establish the ground game.
That's one of the most painful injuries you can have.
Second down and 4. To the far sideline. That's a touchdown. What a grab by Derek Washington.
And another great throw by Jeff Graham. Again, it's the fade pattern. Graham will take a 3-step drop, a 20-yard touchdown. He puts the ball up. Derek Washington, again, you see Al Hemmons doesn't react to the wide receiver looking back to the ball. Great job of Washington going up to the top part of the ball. Derek Washington, there 6'3", has that good size to go up and get the ball.
For Derek Washington, his 5th touchdown catch, but more importantly right now, Graham now within 1 of Jack Riley's all-time Long Beach State record. David Van Steenkist adds the point. 4 minutes, 39 seconds left in a high-scoring first half at Veterans Stadium. It's the 49ers ahead of the Rebels, 21-14.
You're setting me up, Nick. I probably have to bust my friend if I'm going to do my job, and I hate that.
A risky friendship, a shared attraction.
So if I asked you out, maybe you'd accept.
Dating is not a criminal activity.
A dangerous mix.
You are in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Mel Gibson, Michelle Pfeiffer, Kurt Russell, Tequila Sunrise, written and directed by Robert Towne. Rated R. Coming soon. Check newspaper for theaters.
From the people who taught you to expect a lot of car for the money, well, here comes another lesson. Before you buy a car, test drive a Fox at your local Volkswagen dealer.
Well, the 49ers and Rebels putting points on the board today. It's 21-14 for Long Beach State, and it has been a seesaw affair. Long Beach State scored the first 7. The Rebels got the next 14. And the 49ers said, if you can do it, so can we. So Long Beach State has scored the last 14 and recaptured the advantage.
Well, now the Rebels will get the ball back. In that last series, they did not protect Richard Williams very well. And when you give an invitation to a defense like the 49ers, when you don't cover that blitz or protect your quarterback, you're going to see it a lot more.
David Van Steenkist kicking off to Bernard Jackson and Ricky Wills. This is Wills at his 3. And he has trouble fielding it. And he's in deep trouble, and down he goes. And the 49ers, a fired-up football team right now. Leading the charge downfield, Pepper Jenkins, number 8.
Ricky Wills, a wide receiver and a kickoff returner. He knows he's got to catch this ball first before he runs. We'll see if he looks. It looks like he might have lost it in the sun. You see the way the shadows are there. That ball might have been lost in the sun, but a tough break for the Rebels. We used to talk with the Raiders when we didn't protect Kenny Stabler or Jim Plunkett when I was there, that we're sending out invitations to the defense. We'll see if they've sent some invitations to these linebackers for the 49ers to blitz Richard Williams here.
Now Williams has to start from his 9-yard line. Back to basics, the ground game, and Tommy Jackson. Now, do you think perhaps the Rebels got away from the ground attack too much?
Well, I don't think they did, because Richard Williams really did come out and threw some good passes, which gave the coaches confidence that he could come out and play well. So not really. Tommy Jackson did not have a good game last week with only 20 yards rushing against San Jose State. So I think Williams, his play has given the coaches confidence in him.
Second down and 8. Ball just outside the 11-yard line. On the delay, it's Darren Brightman. High stepping it upfield for a first down across the 25-yard line. Pat Quigley made the stop along with Keith Washington.
And a good job of blocking by number 68, right guard David Ruggles. Watch Ruggles get the block on number 44, Mark Ziegenhagen, and springs Brightman for the first down.
And some breathing room now for UNLV. The up back Darren Brightman, the tailback Tommy Jackson. And it's Jackson, and he slides down. And the players today are having trouble with their footing after the rain yesterday. That's the second time Jackson has lost his feet, as he was apparently there breaking into the clear for a pretty good gain.
Well, it's always in between the hash marks where all the offensive and defensive linemen wear the field out the most, and when you get towards the very end of the season in a rain like they had last night, that part of the field, you really don't have anything you can do with it.
Second and 9. Long signal count by Richard Williams. That's a good tight spiral to Keenan McCardle on the out pattern. And it's a first down for UNLV.
That's a great throw by Richard Williams, and you can tell he's having fun and he's confident. He stepped into his throw there. Good mechanics. Going through Richard Williams' mind must be now, what if I had a chance to play more during the season?
Might be going through the mind, too, of Wayne Nunley. Richard Williams, a senior, down with the freshman Charles Price most of the year. He's injured and not dressed today. Scott Sims also has logged a number of minutes, and he's a sophomore out of LA's Dorsey High School. Again, a long signal count, and this time the whistle sound, and it may be delay game.
Williams has audibleized quite a few times today when he's read the blitz. He might have been doing that there and not noticed the 25-second clock in the end zone.
Well, he told us he wants to audibilize so he can throw it more.
Well, he was concerned that the Rebel coaches might keep the ball on the ground and just run Tommy Jackson and Darren Brightman, and he wanted to put it up. So he said if it looked like they were, he would audibilize to get the ball in the air.
It was delay game, and it's 1st and 15. From the I formation. On the ground with Tommy Jackson, and he's cut down. Big number 99, Chuck Reap, the right end, a senior from El Monte. He's an offensive lineman last year. They moved him to the defensive side to try to bolster that defensive line, and he helped out on that occasion.
There, as you look at the new UNLV mascot, I don't recall seeing that mascot on the sideline earlier in the year. That time the 49ers did come with the blitz, and Richard Williams didn't get out of it.
That was a 2-yard setback, and it's 2nd and 17 now. Here comes the blitz again. He's able to pick it up downfield. Wanted Bernard Jackson. Good coverage from Stacy Alexander.
And Williams made a great throw there under pressure. That time the 49ers brought everybody. Williams showed some good arm strength on that corner pattern just to get rid of the ball.
Richard Williams has had good success on his third down ratio. He's 3 of 5 now, and would like to pick up one here, but he's looking at third and very long, 17 to go. 2 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the opening half at Veterans Stadium with David Hum. I'm Randy Rosenblum. And Long Beach State leading UNLV 21-14. Williams stepping up and throwing downfield for Wills, who was open. But he just missed him.
He had Wills open. The ball was just a little bit long, but that time Williams had good time, but a lot of times as a quarterback, when you've got good time after you've taken a couple shots like he had a couple previous series ago, you start to hurry things a little bit. And I think Williams is a little upset with himself that he rushed that throw. You see Terry Cottle, the quarterback coach, talking to Richard Williams, say, settle down and take your time.
Tony Rines originally attended Arizona State. The punter for the Rebels, one of the best in the country. Had 13 punts in the opener at Baylor. That's the most this year by any kicker in the nation. Casey Alexander with the fair catch. And with 1:52 left in the half, there's still time for Jeff Graham.
49ers have good field position. Jeff Graham, a senior quarterback, an experienced quarterback. The 49ers still have 3 timeouts left, so Jeff Graham's in a good situation here with 1:52 to go.
This is a conference that has been dominated, the Big West, by Fresno State, undefeated. Cal State Fullerton with a rush at the end of the year finishes second. Utah State, San Jose State, and Long Beach State would like to jump up into that tie for third place as well. Graham throwing on first down. That's intercepted. Throwing into a crowd, and Joni Reinhold with a big play for UNLV. And you can see Graham is irate with himself.
Jody Reinhold drops back into the hook zone, and Jeff Graham throws a dart here. Linebackers usually have trouble catching the ball. Their hands are taped up. Watch Graham. You can see him looking all the way. Jody Reinhold just reading his eyes. That's a great job by a linebacker, just catching it with his hands and not trying to catch it against his pads where it can bounce off. There's Jody. I think that's before the Brian Bosworth cut, but say a real intense kid.
Still looks tough enough. Rebels from the 30-yard line. On the ground with Brightman to the 25, to the 20, to the 15. Inside the 15-yard line goes Darren Brightman. And you know the 49ers were looking for the pass. The Rebels cross him up with the draw, and Brightman gets a big chunk.
Well, you talk about turnovers. Richard Williams threw the interception to Jenkins that set up the 49ers touchdown. Now they come back with the draw play to Darren Brightman after the interception by Jody Reinhold of Jeff Graham.
Brightman travels 16 yards to the 49er 14. And with 1:25, it is UNLV that is trying to tie the game now. For Tommy Jackson. And he's hit down hard at the 11-yard line by Keith Jenkins.
Jeff Graham, you know he's got to be upset with himself there. He knew he had 3 timeouts. There was just under 2 minutes to go. The perfect situation for this young quarterback, and he threw an interception on the first down.
UNLV is called for a timeout. 1:11 left. Rebels trying to tie the game before intermission.
Sorry, Alex. You know the rules, buddy. Let me have a Stroh's, Pat. About my monthly tab. Seems really high.
No, that's right.
Looks high to me.
Maybe you shouldn't let your buddy use it.
My buddy.
Brown hair, wears it long.
Is he short?
Yeah, talks funny, too.
Wolf?
Says that a lot.
Stroh's, fire brewed for smooth, consistent taste.
Eats the peanuts right out of the bowl, too.
Want to save big on a Chevy Beretta? Start with a factory cash rebate of $500 at an options package discount of $1,500, and a Chevy Beretta can save you up to $2,000. Hurry to your Southern California Chevrolet dealer. And there's big savings on Corsica, too. Start with a factory cash rebate of $400 at an options package discount of $1,300, and a Chevy Corsica can save you up to $1,700. Hurry to your Southern California Chevrolet dealer.
Just 1:11 left here in the first half, and UNLV has an opportunity to tie this game. They have the ball near the Long Beach State 10, 2nd and 5. 21-14, 49ers. And they keep it on the ground again, and Brightman inside the 5, near the 1-yard line. Hard running Darren Brightman. It'll be first down and goal for UNLV.
Darren Brightman's having a super game. They'll run the draw again down here. It was 2nd down and 5. He'll get the first down. Watch Brightman. He breaks the tackle there of number 99. Chuck Reed does it, makes another good job there of making that tackler miss. Gets inside the 5-yard line, puts the Rebels in good position to score.
And did you see the move of Brightman playing off the block of his quick tackle, Pat Harden? I think that play was designed inside, but he was able to move quickly to the outside. And again, it's Brightman. And he's in for a touchdown. And it's 21-20. So UNLV takes advantage of the Jeff Graham interception by Jody Reinhold.
It's Darren Brightman day here. Darren's second score. Good running by the young fullback here when they got down in scoring territory. Brightman, again, a good job. Watch him protect the ball, lower his shoulder, and just drive the 49er defender into the end zone.
Brightman had not scored all year, and now he has 2 TDs. And Larry Reisbig has to be pleased with the offense and not so happy about the defensive effort. But it was the offense that made a mistake there that set up Brightman's TD. Cook now trying to tie the game. And does. Just 42 seconds left in an electrifying first half. Wayne Nunley's Rebels and Larry Reisbig's 49ers tied at 21.
You can see Wayne Nunley, that's the way to go, kids. And then he's extolling his defense. We've got to get out there. We've still got a chance. You know Graham's going to be throwing the ball with 42 seconds left and still 3 timeouts. But we'll take a look at Darren Brightman's touchdown again. Just power play off left tackle. You see him run through Tom Caines, number 1, the linebacker. Brightman only about 5'9". When he gets behind those shoulder pads and gets that leverage down close, he's hard to stop.
You wonder about teams when they come into their final game mentally. Which team may quit? Neither one of these 2 squads is quitting, obviously. They both certainly would like to get a victory here today.
Well, and we talked about it at the top of the show that for a lot of the seniors, for all the seniors, it's their last game. But for a lot of the underclassmen, they're setting things up for next year for spring ball and a chance to win positions for next year's team.
Already 42 points on the board. And that's how much time we have left. 42 seconds here in the first half. That's Bobby Flanoy, number 41, along with Stan Davis. They will return for the 49ers. Keep that one on the ground. They don't want to have a long return. This is the fullback, Paul Batts. And by having the short kick and the fine return by Backs of 23 yards, Jeff Graham has good working room in the final 36 seconds to perhaps get another score.
Well, and that was a good job by Backs picking that ball up. I think the Rebels were just thinking that the 49ers would just down that ball and not really try. You see Randy Whitsitt, who used to be the quarterback coach for the Rebels, and Jeff Graham, his numbers today, 12 of 16 for 140, but that one interception that set up the Rebels' tying score.
Really just one mistake. Otherwise, those are terrific numbers. And Graham now trying to atone for that errant throw. Undecided now, he will run to the outside. Gets away from Derek Nicholson. A flag is down. He went well beyond the line of scrimmage. I don't see a quarterback miss it by that much very often. He must have been 4 or 5 yards downfield past the line of scrimmage, then released the ball.
Well, Graham had to break a tackle there that pushed him upfield, and for a quarterback, you really have to have that awareness of where the markers are, and that time he was way past the line when he threw it. Again, that thing where you try to make a big play and you're trying to make something happen.
An illegal forward pass on the offense. Loss of down penalty, second down.
But that mark there is from where he was out of bounds. Now it's second down and 12, so he was 3 yards past the line of scrimmage when he threw that ball.
And now Jeff Graham letting the clock run down. Down to 10 seconds. So the 49ers apparently content with the tie. Lafayette Shelton dragged down by Jody Reinhold, and we will go to the locker room in a deadlock at 21. An exciting first 30 minutes of football. Long Beach State, UNLV in the season finale. Playing hard and playing well, 21-all. We'll have our halftime after this timeout.
This is no place to be on your own. Without a guide, you can get lost real fast. It's kind of like taking care of money matters nowadays. You need a partner you can trust to show the way. Like Great Western. They can handle all your banking needs, from home mortgages and refinancing to checking and CDs, even investment services. You see, the Great Western family has over 100 years' experience and more than $30 billion in assets, so you can feel real safe. Need a strong financial partner? Let Great Western show you the way.
Welcome back to Veterans Stadium. It's halftime, and it's tied at 21 apiece, UNLV and Long Beach State. And quite candidly, the first 30 minutes here, very entertaining, David.
I think so, and it's fun to watch the play of the two quarterbacks. Jeff Graham, 12 of 16, 143 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Richard Williams, 9 of 16, 150 yards, a touchdown and interception. Pretty even for that, and you can see in their stats the score is even at half.
Graham certainly not a surprise. Richard Williams, first start of the year, he's impressive.
Impressive and surprising. I think I'm impressed with the way the Rebels have let Richard Williams throw the ball. They play their offense the way they wanted to come in if they would have had Charles Price or Scott Sims start. So I think Wayne Nunley has to be real happy with the play of Richard Williams.
Now, when you talk about UNLV's running game, normally you talk about Tommy Jackson, but in that first half, Darren Brightman was so very impressive, and he had 2 touchdowns.
Well, a lot of times when a defense is concerned about a running back, they'll key on him, and Darren Brightman has really snuck in there and made some big plays in the 2 touchdowns that have been so helpful to the Rebels.
All right, what about the defenses? It's been an offensive show, all the big highlights from the offensive side, an occasional turnover here and there. What are the defenses going to have to do? Because somebody's going to have to stop somebody before it's over.
Well, I think when the 49ers have been successful, it's been when they've blitzed Richard Williams, and I think we'll see Philip Morrison in a lot on the blitzes, and I think we'll see the Rebels try to put more pressure on Jeff Graham.
30 minutes will decide it. Long Beach State and UNLV tied at 21. The second half is next.
Are you looking for the best movies on TV? Well, look no further. Comcast and HBO are booming with blockbuster hits. Month after month, Comcast delivers the brightest stars right to your door without the hassles of the video store or the out-of-sight prices at the box office. Stick with Comcast and HBO for the best movies on TV.
This year, the world's automakers will once again offer hordes of imitation BMWs. Meanwhile, for under $25,000, BMW offers something infinitely more valuable. The new BMW 325i. Why settle for a copy when you can own an original?
Welcome back to Veterans Stadium in Long Beach, California with David Humm. I'm Randy Rosenblum. We go to the third quarter. UNLV and the 49ers of Long Beach State tied at 21 apiece. And the 49ers will receive this second half kickoff from Jim Cook.
And I think Jeff Graham was not happy with his play in the final 2 minutes, and he'd like to get his momentum back with a good drive here to open the second half.
Stan Davis, good look at number 6. You know, he's an actor. He's been in a lot of different TV shows and a motion picture or two. He doesn't want to put on an act here, except returning the kickoff in a positive light. And this is the aforementioned Stan Davis. And there goes Stan Davis. That's a great return near the 40-yard line. Gerald Robinson finally threw him out of bounds.
The kickoff did not go very deep. Davis, it looks like a middle return. He breaks it to the left, takes it up the left sideline. Number 93, Jim Sanford, is going to get a great block on number 6, Gerald Robinson, here at the end of the play that gives Davis the chance to get outside and get good field position for Jeff Graham.
Graham starts his team from the 38 and has Shelton in motion. And he's hit by Ron Banks, and it's ruled incomplete. Nearly a fumble, too. Statistically, through the first 30 minutes, I'm sure these numbers will be close, and they are. UNLV had a big effort on the ground from Darren Brightman, but statistically about even. The turnovers hurt Long Beach State 2-1. Time of possession also fairly even.
That time we saw the Rebels come with Ron Banks on the blitz, and we'll see if they do stay with that mode that they try to blitz Jeff Graham.
Graham again going up top. Over the middle, and Bittner never brought it in. That was a very catchable ball.
It wasn't. He would have taken a big hit by Jody Reinhold on that play. Reinhold was just waiting in the middle there for Bittner to run the delay. Bittner, if he would have held on to it, you just hope he wouldn't have gotten hurt. Reinhold, tough hitter.
Larry Reisbig's team does not look good on these first 2 downs. Graham, 12 of 18. Took a ferocious hit from Banks, and then Bittner dropped the ball. So it's 3rd and 10. And that's incomplete through the legs of Lafayette Shelton. So it's 3 and out for the 49ers, and we haven't seen that very often.
And Shelton would have had a problem getting a first down. He was about 3 yards over the initial yard marker. He would have had to make a great play to get the first down, but Jeff Graham, I think things a lot of times will carry over. He didn't finish up well in the second quarter, and here he comes out and has problems with his first drive in the second half.
Lujan slipped, and the ball's blocked. And UNLV is going to pick it up, and the Rebels will have it at the 20-yard line. So Lujan lost his footing. Don Roberts returned it. And Willie ended up on the seat of his pants.
Willie Lujan, it just looks like he loses his balance. We'll see if his plant foot, his left foot, slides out from underneath it. You can see him right there as he slides. It looks like he has a turf shoe on. Lujan, no chance there, not really a block. He just kicked it right into the offensive line.
Well, the 49ers had that problem last week. A block kick resulted in a TD at Fresno State. Here they go again with that problem. First down at the 19-yard line for Richard Williams. And UNLV trying to get the lead early in the third quarter. Tommy Jackson to the 20, cuts it to the 16-yard line.
Randy, you really don't expect a punter to have that problem with his plant foot. That's more of a problem on a sloppy field like this for the placement kicker than it is for a punter.
Well, you had the feeling he was hurrying because he knew the rush was coming.
Well, they were bringing 10 men there that trying to get the block, and Lujan, you're not sure if even the punter, he might not have changed his cleats when he came out for pregame warm-ups.
4 times this year, Tommy Jackson has rushed for over 100 yards, but not so far today. This has been the man so far, Darren Brightman. He's inside the 15. What a luxury to have 2 quality backs, Tommy Jackson and Darren Brightman. Of course, last year it was anchored by Ickey Woods, who rushed for over 200 yards in a 30-17 victory over the 49ers. And Woods now the spectacular rookie for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Well, last year was Ickey right and Ickey left. This year they've had Tommy Jackson and Darren Brightman. They've gone more to Brightman here in the second half of the season when Tommy Jackson's had problems running, but here we're seeing it's Brightman's day.
On 3rd and 3, Jackson can't get to the outside. The defensive end, Chuck Reap, and Pio Goodine, number 98, disrupt the play.
Reap was in there. Tommy Jackson really didn't even have a chance to make a move on Chuck Reap there. He was in the backfield so quickly.
And now Jim Cook is on to try to give UNLV a 3-point lead. Cook missed a long one in the first half. Tommy Jackson is down. Yes, David.
You see him looking at the right knee. On a field like this, you really, as a player, you're not concerned about the knee injury because the cleats don't stick. And here you look at Tommy Jackson with what apparently looks like a right knee injury. But when the field is this wet and it's this thin, there's not a lot of grass on this field. You don't expect to see these. We'll see it again. Watch Chuck Reap. He'll get in so quick. And you can see the right knee right there that Reap grabs. And it looked like he just might have twisted it as they were going down, especially there at the very end.
Tommy Jackson was the player of the week in the Big West against UOP at 192 yards and 3 touchdowns. A quality player. Last year, of course, he lived in the shadow of Ickey Woods, but not this year. He's had a terrific season, but he's in pain now as he is being helped to his feet. And that's a good sign that he's limping and seems to be getting stronger with every moment. He may want to stay in there. I think he'll go out. The trainers won't let him play. Jerry Koloski will check him out, but I think there's a likelihood now Jackson may return.
I tell you though, when you get up and you've strained your knee or anything in it, and first time you take those first steps and there's not a lot of stability, it'll scare you.
Oh, it's a time to be tentative. But for now, Cook can't be tentative. He's going to try to give his team the lead. A 32-yard attempted straight on out of the hold of Keenan McCardle. Place down. Plenty of distance and accuracy. 2 minutes elapsed here in the third quarter. 13 minutes still to play, and UNLV back out on top, leading Long Beach State 24-21.
4,500 trucks in 45 days. Now that's what your Southern California Chevrolet dealer's out to sell. That's why he's making the best truck deals that he's ever offered on extended cab, sports side, EL economy model, 1 tons, V6 and V8. With factory rebates and discounts on option packages worth up to $2,400. So can your Chevy dealer make you a deal? Hey, he can't afford not to. 4,500 trucks in 45 days.
Oh, look at this. It's priceless.
Naturally.
It's Mom and Dad's 50th wedding anniversary.
Here we go.
Oh, wait, I'm going to charge it with the American Express card. That way it's automatically insured.
Hi, did you get it?
Hi, Mom.
Terrific.
You won't believe it. Don't worry. Remember, I used the American Express card. So it's insured.
Lost, stolen, or damaged. A way to protect the things you buy. Membership has its privileges.
College Football 88 is brought to you by your Southern California Chevrolet dealers. Get in and enter to win a trip to Fort Toe, Tularoid, Colorado, or one of 100 season ski passes to Snow Summit at Big Bear Lake. And by Great Western's family of companies. With over $30 billion in assets, 100 years strong, will always be there. 24-21, and the arithmetic continues to build here at Veterans Stadium in Long Beach. And UNLV gains the lead and only took 2 minutes to get the field goal. And again, Jim Cook will be kicking off.
Last game for a lot of seniors here, Randy. A lot of players, as they come out of the locker room, they know this is their last half of play for their respective universities. A tough time for a lot of these kids.
And for Jim Cook, his final half of football. Stan Davis on the return. Again, he has a lane. Stan Davis, 35-30. He's going to go all the way. Earlier we mentioned about the speed of Stan Davis. An 83-yard kickoff return, and suddenly it's the 49ers that lead.
The opening kickoff of the second half, Davis had a good return to the left. Here they go return right. You'll see Bernard Jackson, number 5, is really the only rebel there that's going to be there to stop Davis. Davis all alone in the picture there. There you see Jim Cook, Bernard Jackson. He breaks the tackle of Jackson. Long touchdown run gets the 49ers back in the game when Jeff Graham was struggling the last 2 or 3 series for the 49ers offense.
Well, we thought we saw fireworks in the first half, and each team already has scored in the second half, and we've only played 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Van Steenkist adds the extra point. Wayne Nunley not pleased. His team's behind again. 12 minutes, 48 seconds left, third quarter, 28-24, the Beach.
Nothing tastes as festive, zesty, Latin as the new guacamole bacon cheeseburger from Carl's Jr. Charbroiled with 2 strips of crisp bacon and rich, creamy guacamole. Olay, the new guacamole bacon cheeseburger for a limited time only at Carl's Jr.
Just when you thought you knew everything about trucks, Toyota changes all the rules. Introducing the all-new Toyota trucks, redesigned for '89. More V6 4x4 power, all-new optional on-the-move 4-wheel demand. And now, an available V6 4x2 for extra power when you need it. More inner space and comfort, and a new look that says one thing, Toyota quality.
Toyota! Who could ask for anything more?
A spectacular 83-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by Stan Davis has given Cal State Long Beach a 28-24 lead. Still with 12 minutes and 48 seconds left here in the third quarter.
Special teams always such a big part of any game, and especially when you're covering kicks, it really takes discipline to stay in your lanes. They did the return left on the first kickoff in the second half. That time they came back to the right. The Rebel team, cover team, not in position.
Ricky Wills and Bernard Jackson back as Van Steenkist kicks off for the 49ers. Ricky Wills from his 2-yard line. And he has room. His own momentum brought him through the wedge, but he slid down.
The wedge did a super job there. Wills, just with the speed, he's looking like or feeling like he might get hit, but watch Wills. He does a good job. His wedge waits for him before they take off, and they do a great job of opening up a lane for Wills. But watch Wills, he's going to make the cut and just loses his footing.
How many times have we seen that today? At least 6 or 7 times this afternoon. The ball carriers, or in this case the return artists, have lost their footing from the 29-yard line. Richard Williams. Incomplete. There is a flag down. Wanted Ken Rogers, his tight end.
You see a roughing the passer penalty here.
That's not the mistake Larry Reisbig was looking for from his defensive team after getting the lift from Stan Davis on the kickoff.
We've seen the momentum change on every other drive for these teams, whether it be through a big special teams play or the play of Richard Williams or Jeff Graham. Richard Williams has done a great job of standing in the pocket, his composure and his control of this offensive team. I've been really impressed with his play today.
This series has really been a good one. They've played 7 games. UNLV has the lead 4-3. I think back to 1983 when UNLV could have won the conference title. They had the lead, and Long Beach State drove over 90 yards in the final minute with no timeouts. Todd Dillon hitting his running back Mark Templeton, and it took the conference title away. They've just played terrific games. That one not one of the highlights of the UNLV football history. Another marker down here is Brightman carried. This one will go against the Rebel.
Well, this is where you don't really want the officials. We've got a game that's a lot of fun. The scoring's going back and forth. A super game. You don't want the officials to really slow it down with a lot of flags. Here you see a holding penalty.
Holding on the outside.
It'll be 1st and 15 now for Wayne Nunley's troops. Going to move that marker just a bit, and they'll make it 1st and 17 now. After the holding foul. To the far sideline to Darren Brightman. He gets 7 back. Coming out of the backfield. Brightman is a complete player.
He sure is. And again, Richard Williams shows his composure looking downfield. Brightman was not the primary receiver there. He went there late, picked up positive yardage, got him back into a 2nd down and 9 situation, and another positive situation created by Richard Williams.
Not trying to get it all back at once. Bernard Jackson wide to the right side. He's already caught a touchdown today. McCardle to the left. For Welch, too high and incomplete. R.J. Coors on the coverage.
Again, the 49ers, they bring the blitz and put the pressure on Williams, and Williams had to get rid of that ball earlier. Welch at 6'4" is a pretty tall receiver. He's got some good reach on him, but that one's still a little tall for Welch.
Richard Williams now faced with 3rd and long. Which defense will stand tall? The offenses have been in total control so far. Over the middle, Welch is wide open, so Williams goes back to the tight end. And it's a 1st down.
and a good throw by Richard Williams. Welch does a good job of eluding the coverage of number 44, Mark Ziegenhagen. We'll watch from behind Richard Williams. You'll see a wide open Robert Welch. Mark Ziegenhagen had the coverage on Welch, and a good first down on 3rd down and 9. Good throw by Richard Williams.
Welch bobbled it as he brought it in. Fumbled it when he hit the ground, but he was already down, and it's a first down and a big 3rd down and 9 conversion for UNLV. And there's the 37 now, the 49er. Slot right formation. And Williams is looking to throw again over the middle. Ricky Wills has another first down, and he's cut down by Tom Caines. Hey, how about Richard Williams?
Williams throws a strike here to Ricky Wills. Wills will just run the slant pattern. Williams will throw this between the linebackers and in front of the defensive backs. Caines does a good job of getting Wills down. Super throw. Good catch in the hands there by Ricky Wills.
Richard Williams has been very accurate today. 12 of 20, 199 yards, a touchdown, and 1 interception.
This from a guy that's only thrown 1 pass all year.
On the delay. Always nice to mix in the ground attack. That's Kejon Murphy's first carry of the game. Now, we saw him 2 weeks ago against Fresno State score 2 touchdowns on the ground. That's the game Jackson was injured, missed. Murphy came in and scored twice.
And no one really knew of Kejon Murphy. The 49ers have really only seen him in the Fresno State films. Tommy Jackson, with the knee injury, gives Murphy a chance.
He's a slashing runner. He's the cousin, by the way, of Ickey Woods. 2nd down and 7. Kejon gets 3 on his first try of the day. Brightman, the lone setback. Wills with a marvelous grab. There's a flag down.
Richard Williams went to the blitz there. The 49ers didn't show the blitz early. Their linebackers were in their regular position, but you could see the backs move over to slide left to protect Williams.
11 yards. No, you got it. Stay there.
They're going to call Keith Jenkins on pass interference on Ricky Wills, but Wills did a great job of eluding that, making the catch. Watch this catch by Ricky Wills. The ball's low, which is a good throw. It's away from the defensive back in front, but there was interference before that with Jenkins. We'll see it again. Williams, good pressure on him, makes a perfect throw down in front and low where only Wills had the chance to catch the ball.
The first down on that throw.
Larry Reisbeck had to feel good after that kickoff return, and now he's looking at his defense, letting the Rebels march back, and they could take the lead now with a touchdown.
It's 1st and goal. The ball just outside the 5-yard line. We haven't played 5 minutes here in the 3rd quarter. UNLV has a field goal and is threatening for another TD, and Long Beach State has a touchdown on the 83-yard kickoff return by Stan Davis. Kejon Murphy's knocked down in his backfield. What a defensive charge there. Chuck Reap really played off the block and made the stop.
Reap has really played well down here in scoring territory. We'll watch Reap again come off the block and make the tackle on Kejon Murphy. 73, Dustin Quinton, the big offensive right tackle for the Rebels, had a block on Reap, and Reap did a good job of getting away from Quinton. Quinton weighs 305 pounds and 6'5".
2nd and goal now from the 8-yard line. Richard Williams trying to direct his team in the end zone. Get the lead back. Pressure. Flag is down. It's caught by Jackson. It would be a touchdown. Make that to Ricky Wills. But there's a flag down.
Richard Williams is running back. Say, tell me it's not holding.
It is holding. Ricky Wills loses a score.
Had a hole in the outside. Okay, 10 yards.
But again, another good play by Richard Williams. Williams, he had time early, felt the pressure, got away from the rush, and threw the touchdown to Wills, only to have it called back. Terry Cottle quarterback coach. You can see him working
Holding on the offense, previous spot penalty, second down.
with Richard saying, that's fine, let's go, we'll get it back again. Just go ahead and get the team in there and keep doing what you're doing. You've been successful all day.
The poise of Richard Williams in this game has been remarkable. Any obstacle that has gotten in his way, he's been able to overcome. Let's see if he can overcome the penalty now.
You can see it in his face as he walks in the huddle, the composure he's got.
Now from the 17-yard line, it's still second and goal. On the ground with Darren Brightman. He has a big hole, but he trips and falls at the 13. Again, one of the Rebel ball carriers loses his footing.
Remember, the Rebels' home surface is the AstroTurf artificial surface. You don't play on grass a lot. You finally get on it, and you think you can make the same moves, but you can see that right foot slip about 3 yards in that mud as he's tackled by Keith Washington. But you're used to AstroTurf where you can make those quick cuts, and you get on a field like this, and you forget how sloppy it is.
8.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Long Beach State 28, UNLV 24. Third and goal now. Jackson in motion. Wills at the 5. He's down near the goal line. Oh, and a decision now for Wayne Nunley. Wills is to the 1-yard line before he's taken down by Pat Quigley and Keith Jenkins. You know, Richard Williams wants to go for it, and Wayne Nunley wants a timeout to think about it.
Well, and you know, Darren Brightman wants to go for it. Brightman's been tough down here. He's scored two of his touchdowns when they've been inside the 2-yard line.
Well, they're down 4 points. So you got to think with inches to go, they're going to go for it. This is a good throw again by Richard Williams.
You see Williams there, he just steps into his throw just like a baseball pitcher. Hits Wills right on the number, and you see him trying to fight in just short of the touchdown. We'll watch it from ground level. Good throw by Williams. Again, his numbers are great for this game. Wills is going to make a good move to the outside. Now watch him cut it back and just try to get inside. He's just a yard short there. He reaches across trying to get the ball in the end zone, but he's already down.
You know, they say that patience is a virtue, and certainly that has to be the tone of this game for the quarterback, Richard Williams. He has been sitting all year long since the midway stage of last year, waits his turn patiently. And the only reason he's playing today is Charles Price was injured, and he and Sims are the only 2 signal callers who have had any experience prior. He was the senior, so Wayne said, hey, you have the ball, you can do what you want today, and he's performed admirably.
I think the most impressive thing about Richard Williams today is his patience. When you haven't played, you have a tendency to rush things, to rush your plays, rush your throws, but Williams looks like he's been playing all year.
This will be the 12th play of the drive. It's 4th down and less than 1. UNLV trailing by 4 will go for it. With 8 minutes and 3 seconds left in the third quarter. Full house backfield. Kyle Toomer, Darren Brightman, and P. John Murphy. It's Brightman. Is it a touchdown? Yes, it is. TD for Brightman. The 49ers thought they had stopped him. Tom Keynes is irate.
From our angle here on top of the press box, it looked like Keynes had stopped Brightman, but his second effort apparently got him across the goal line. This is the same play that Darren Brightman has scored his 2 touchdowns here today. They'll run it again. Watch number 1, Tom Keynes come in and make the hit. And from that angle, it's hard to tell if he broke the plane of the goal line. Here we'll see it from another angle. Brightman, you see him tripped up early. He's hit by number 5, Mauricio Gutierrez, the linebacker, and Kane comes in and puts the stopper on him, but the officials say he's in.
Jim Cook adds the point, makes it 31-28. So on 4th and goal, Brightman scores for the 3rd time today. 7:59 left, third quarter, UNLV by 3.
It's a nightmare. One tries to shake off that they'll be homeless, that they'll be without.
The drugs are another way of running away, but you do it mentally and not physically.
For people who go to school and learn from the beginning, they don't have an idea what it's like.
What if there were a way you could help a homeless family, a teenager in crisis, or teach a father to read to his child for the very first time? Well, there is a way. United Way.
Here at Comcast, we believe that United Way is one of the best ways to help strengthen our community. You see, your one gift to United Way supports many different agencies and programs. whether it's through daycare centers or clinics for the elderly, your United Way donation is working all year long, helping to deliver services that make a difference in people's lives. It's a great way to give and a great way to care for the people in our community. Comcast supports United Way. It brings out the best in all of us.
The final Big West game of the 1988 season is a good one and a high-scoring affair. UNLV leading 31-28. Darren Brighton hadn't scored a touchdown this year, and he has 3 today, and the Rebels lead.
And he's got 14 carries for 84 yards. That drive, 12 plays, 71 yards, 8 at 4 minutes and 49 seconds of the clock.
Still, the defense is being punctured today. Been an offensive showcase. Flanoid at his 15-yard line. A marker down, and so is Flanoid at the 28. He was drilled on the specialty team by this guy, Gerald Robinson.
There you saw Bobby Flanoid make a good cut on this wet surface. And when you play on this surface all the time, you practice on it, you know how to run on a lot better than players that always are on that natural surface, the artificial surface.
You want to hear a misleading stat? Time of possession in the third quarter, UNLV 5 minutes and 25 seconds, Long Beach State 36 seconds. But remember, that doesn't include the 83-yard kickoff return for a TD by Stan Davis. Offsetting penalties here. We've had a little bit of everything in this one.
This has been a great game. Jeff Graham now. Jeff's been on the sideline. Here there's 7:54 left in the third quarter. Graham really hasn't had a chance to warm up.
Not my turn. On the return, clipping, gets the defense, dead ball personal foul, offset.
Wayne Nunley, a pensive look as he now will root for his defense to do something to try to stop this 49er offense. Graham on the ground to Lafayette Shelton. And he's wrapped up at the 14-yard line. Ron Banks really attacked defensively, number 18.
Graham really has to establish himself now. The clock's running. To get some momentum going, Graham's going to have to throw the ball and throw it well. The Long Beach State 49ers, they're not going to win this game with the running game.
Jeff Graham has thrown for a touchdown today to Derek Washington. That's his 40th career TD pass. On the ground again with Lafayette Shelton. He fumbled. Hit from behind by Michael Fowler, and UNLV has recovered. Fowler stripped it away. And John Foster recovers. And things are starting to come apart for Larry Reisbig's team in the third quarter.
Well, Ron Banks, number 18, is also going to be in on this play. Watch Shelton. You can see he's waiting for his blocks in this hole to develop. You see the cut right there, and the ball is loose. You can see Fowler reach in there and knock that ball free.
The turnovers have really damaged the 49ers. UNLV with the third takeaway today. They're stationed at the 49ers 17-yard line. So Richard Williams and the offense trying to take advantage. And here comes Darren Brightman inside the 15-yard line.
Good call by the Rebels there. The 49ers had a blitz on. If that linebacker gets screened away, who's got man-to-man coverage on the back as he runs the draw play, it's hard to get to him. Good yardage on first down for the Rebels. We'll watch it again. The 49ers will blitz. We'll watch Darren Brightman. Watch Brightman get behind his shoulder pads. He gets down so low that it's hard for a defensive player to stop him because of the momentum he can get.
And he limped off, and he's been replaced by Kyle Toomer, number 23. So Jackson, first sideline, and now Brightman's out of there. Blitz, Pepper Jenkins. Nobody laid a glove on him. Richard Williams looked up, and Jenkins already in the grasp.
That's the third time Richard Williams has been hit from the blind side. Apparently the 49ers, watch this, he just turns to look, and boy, I'll tell you, if it doesn't cause a bloody nose, clear the cobwebs.
Now Kyle Toomer is out, and Howard Howell, reserve fullback, comes in. Pepper Jenkins with a big defensive play. He's a sophomore out of L.A. Missed the last couple of years as redshirted, but makes the big stick there. They're down in 10. Ball back at the 18-yard line. For the end zone. Incomplete. Keenan McCardle leaped for it against Stacy Alexander.
What a great throw by Richard Williams. Remember, Williams took a big hit on the last play. This is a perfect throw. Keenan McCardle will go up high for the ball. He's got the ball in his hands. But there you see number 2, Stacy Alexander, swipe the ball away. But again, a good throw by Williams. Watch McCardle go up, but watch Alexander swipe the ball away as they're coming down. Good defensive play.
You could see why Alexander was an all-conference DB last year.
But again, another good throw by Richard Williams, the UNLV quarterback.
Cook will try one from 35 yards on the near hash. It's a 31-28 game for UNLV with 5:43 left in the third quarter. Plenty of distance. And Cook has 2 field goals in this third quarter. 5 minutes and 40 seconds remain here in the third quarter, and UNLV builds that advantage to 34-28.
Well, again, we talked, Jeff Graham's going to have to come in and establish a drive here, both just to get things going, to get his confidence going. Larry Rice-Big, get his quarterback, let him throw some passes that are high percentage, get some completions going, and hopefully get a good drive.
Tuesday, the Kings return home to do battle against the New Jersey Devils. Prime Tickets live coverage begins at 7:15 with Kings Corner. Prime Ticket, the exclusive network of the Kings. In some respects, though, David, I would think that that's a winning situation for the 49ers after the turnover, the penetration deep in Long Beach territory, and the defense comes out and holds them to a field goal.
Well, that's what your defense has to do when there's a turnover like that. Stacy Alexander made a great play on Keenan McCardle not to give up the touchdown and knock that ball away. But again, Richard Williams throwing the ball great.
Got to go back to Tim Golden's heroics against UOP back in 1983. And here today, Stan Davis in this quarter has traveled 83 yards on a kickoff return for a score.
You better believe Wayne Memley said something to his kickoff coverage team right now to get down and be aware of Davis's ability.
UNLV 13 points on the board in the third quarter. And the 7 points represented by that kickoff return for TD for the 49ers. This one will be returned by Bobby Flanoid. Down it goes. And the ball is loose. There are flags down all over the place. Charles Anthony was the rebel coming downfield that really lowered the boom.
But there you saw Jim Cook. He did kick away from number 6, Stan Davis.
Hold in against Cal State Long Beach, and they'll be backed up again. And they have not had field position in this quarter.
Take it back.
Our referee today is Mike Pereira. Tells us it is indeed the hold.
Again, poor field position, and it's so hard to drive and score touchdowns when you've always got that 80 yards, that 85 yards to go to get a touchdown. There's too many ways that things can go wrong.
Well, Jeff Graham, if he wants to get his team in the lead, going to have to take up 82 yards in this situation. Just batted down. The pocket is starting to collapse. 55, John Foster, the strong outside linebacker, got the arms up, but this is reminiscent of last week when Jeff Graham was sacked 10 times by Fresno State. That pocket just not holding up for him.
You can kind of see the posture now as we look at Jeff Graham, 12 of 20, only 143 yards. These aren't numbers that Jeff Graham's used to posting. When we've got 5 minutes left, 5 minutes and 28 seconds left in the third quarter, Graham's used to having a lot bigger numbers than this.
2nd and 10. Looking for the safety valve over the middle. Good catch. Shelton made the grab, and Jody Reinhold with a pretty good hit.
Long Beach State only 11 total yards here in the third quarter with 5 minutes left. UNLV with 82 yards, and they've been in great field position. They've had great field position this whole third quarter.
The defense of the Rebels playing much better in this third stanza. 34-28, UNLV leading. Under 5 minutes remaining third quarter. It's 3rd and 3. Graham curling out of that pocket. Downfield, it's up for grabs and intercepted by Al Hemmons. And the 4th turnover and 2nd interception against the 49ers. And for Al Hemmons, his first interception of the year.
And this is a big mistake by the senior quarterback, Jeff Graham. Graham is 3rd down and 3. He could run and get the first down here. Here he throws to Greg Johnson high. The ball's deflected. Anthony there, and Hemmons goes up and makes the interception. But again, a mistake by Jeff Graham.
And again, UNLV is set up in great field position, the 49er 45-yard line. There it is, 4 turnovers now against Long Beach State. Darren Brightman is back in at fullback. Play action pass didn't fool Pat Quigley at number 49, sacks Richard Williams. Does a Mark Gastineau-like dance.
Richard Williams is going to be a little sore tomorrow. He's going to finally log some time that he hasn't done all year, and that's in the tug. We'll watch the play action pass again. It's standard play action. Pat Quigley, no one blocks him. Williams time early, but again you see him take another good shot. Williams has had pressure on him all day.
Pat Quigley's a senior. Originally attended the University of Illinois. On to the left. John Murphy blocking and carrying the football. I believe that was Kyle Toomer.
The 49ers defense has played well here in the third quarter, not to give up more points, but the good field position the Rebels have had.
You know, that was Tommy Jackson that came back. Jackson is back in the ball game. So both Brightman and Jackson have come back. Remember, Jackson limped off earlier. UNLV 4 of 10 on 3rd down conversion. Blitz. And that forced the hand of Richard Williams. He had to unload early. The free safety, Keith Washington, was charging in unblocked.
Again, Williams took another big hit. When the 49ers have been successful on defense, it's been with the safety blitz or with bringing the linebackers, and Williams taking a couple good shots today.
Well, UNLV has had field position, and they've scored 13 points, but they have not put Long Beach State away. It's still only a 6-point game. 3 minutes, 8 seconds left in the third quarter, and still the entire fourth quarter to go. Rhymes, a low, short kick. And the 49ers will have it. But again, they're pinned back inside their 20-yard line.
But not a great kick there by Tony Ryans, and the 49ers are lucky just to have it on the 18-yard line coming out.
Jeff Graham's thinking one big play. He has a big play receiver, and Derek Washington wide to the right. To the left, Kelly Ryan.
I think Graham would be happy to get a couple short ones here just to get his confidence back.
Oh, they stay on the ground with Lafayette Shelton, and he can't turn the corner. He's going to lose ground. Jody Reinhold chased him across the field. That was a magnificent play by number 46.
Jody Reinhold has really developed into the leader on this defensive unit. Lafayette Shelton with great speed, but watch Jody Reinhold run him down. He's got the sideline there to turn him back, but super job by Reinhold.
That's a loss of 6 yards.
But again, the 49ers just can't get anything going on first down to get positive yardage to take pressure off Jeff Graham.
Greg Johnson in motion. Quick pass to Johnson. Trying to isolate him in the flat. And he gets back most of the yardage they lost on first down. But it's going to bring up a 3rd and long. The 49ers unable to move the ball here in the third quarter. That's a tribute to the UNLV defense.
It sure is. They've been all over the field against the 49ers. And again, Jeff Graham's in a tough situation with 3rd down and a little over 10 yards to go for a first down. They really have not done anything productive here in the third quarter.
One more play, you're out. Let's go. Let's get one more play, you're out.
Their touchdown here, the kickoff return. They have not moved it offensively. Ryan in motion. He has an open target. It is Kelly Ryan to the 40-yard line. That was well thrown and a good pattern downfield.
A great throw there by Jeff Graham. Graham again with the rollout to buy time, a 22-yard gain. He'll hit Kelly Ryan. Ryan just finds the open hole in the zone here. There you see a great throw. And for a quarterback like Jeff Graham, a play like that a lot of times can spark him, and he's just his confidence is back, and he makes a big play.
First down. The Beach at their 45-yard line. Trying to close the year with a victory and a winning record in the Big West. Shelton slides down at the 43-yard line. And again, it was Ryan Hole on the stop.
But again, a good awareness by Jeff Graham. He was looking downfield. He was looking to his right and just found Shelton at the very end, picked up 4 yards, gave him a little bit better chance at 2nd down and 6 to mix up his offense and not be always in that 2nd and 3rd and long situation.
The quarter dominated by UNLV to this point. Jim Bittner has running room. He's a very strong running back. He has a first down in UNLV territory to the 44-yard line. Finally hauled down by Charles Anthony.
Now you can see the 49ers start to mix their offense up. The rollout by Graham, the draw, the reverse trap there. This is what the 49ers were doing well in the first half and have not done well here in the 3rd quarter.
Down to 25 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. At Long Beach State trying to recapture the lead. It's been a seesaw, high-scoring affair here at Veterans Stadium. That's a dangerous pass. Did Derek Washington come up with it? No, it's ruled incomplete. But when you throw it across the field like that, you risk an interception.
The break that Al Hemmons was making on that ball, I thought he was going to have a chance to pick it off. Luckily, the ball was thrown low enough that Hemmons didn't have a chance to pick it.
Hemmons just had an interception. Looking for number 2 in the quarter. Only 9 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. A lot of crazy things have happened today. Freewheeling and highly entertaining. Set up the screen. Ryan Browning, 40. Cut back to the 35, to the 30. He's to the rubble 27-yard line, but there's a flag again. Wayne Nunley hoping this one's coming back. Larry Reisbig saying, no, not my offense. Perfect play, though, against that furious rush to throw the screen.
And Browning did a great job of waiting for his blocking to develop, get the yardage for a first down, but we see the officials walking this back.
Name of the game, though, David, is execution.
It's so hard for a coach.
Play. On the last play of the quarter, that's a clip against the offense. The penalty will extend the quarter by 1 play, 2nd down.
A coach can put the plays in, but he can't run the ball. He can't make the blocks, and it's so frustrating to stand on the sideline when your players are making mistakes and killing themselves.
This will be the final play now of the 3rd quarter. 2nd down and 13. Graham with a pump fake. Far side for Derek Washington, incomplete. Good coverage from Al Hemmons. Well, that ends the 3rd quarter. UNLV is out in front 34-28, but there's still 15 minutes left of football for both these teams in 1988.
You know, it's a whole lot easier to keep an eye on things when they're all safe in one place. Well, that's one of the rewards of choosing Great Western as your financial partner. They can help you with all your money matters, from checking and CDs to Visa cards and home loans. even investment services. You see, the Great Western family has over 100 years of experience and more than $30 billion in assets, so you can feel real safe. Round up your financial affairs and settle down for good. At Great Western.
The fourth quarter at UNLV, clinging to a 6-point advantage over the Cal State Long Beach State 49ers. 34-28. And the 49ers looking at 3rd and 13. Trying for the big play here. Keep the drive alive. Screen across the field to Brian Browning. He needs a block. Can't find one. It'll be 4th down.
3rd down and 13 to run that play. The Rebels were in a zone defense, and when you're in the zone defense, your defenders are just going to find an area and squat there. Rather than on that, you try to pick somebody off as the linebacker's going back for a guy like Browning where the play's going. So a tough call on 3rd down and 13 to throw that screen across the field.
Willie Lujan will punt. He's had a tough time in recent weeks. Total yardage. UNLV accumulating over 300 yards. 49ers not too far behind. Movement, but no flag. Lujan does not get off a good kick. McCardle dangerously comes upfield with it. Then he's tagged pretty good by Pat Quigley.
Tough feeling when you know that's a short punt and you're running up on it and don't make the fair catch, so you're going to take a pretty good hit. But you could see Lujan there after he slipped and had the one block right at the beginning of the 3rd quarter. You could see his technique there. He was concerned about the sloppy field conditions.
Richard Williams said before the game, I want to have fun. I got to believe he's having a lot of fun with those kind of numbers.
I didn't think he'd have this much fun. 14-24, 223 yards. 1 touchdown was called back on a penalty, so super game for that young man.
Charlie Paco is back in at center. He was shaken up in the first half, and Brightman is tripped up. Nice effort by the free safety, Keith Washington. Came up and knocked him down with that left arm.
But you know when the free safety is up there that this is an all-out blitz, and they're trying to put pressure on Richard Williams, but Washington does a good job of getting Darren Brightman down. Brightman, a tough runner.
A loss of 1. It'll be 2nd down and 11. There's Keith Washington, only a sophomore. He prepped at Verbum Day High School. Williams, 2nd back through. Tommy Jackson, he can't get free. Tom Keynes wraps him up.
That time Jackson made the break to the outside, and it appeared that Darren Brightman had Tom Keynes blocked so that Jackson could come back inside. See the block by Brightman. He has Keynes on his outside shoulder, and Tommy Jackson runs right into the linebacker to make it an easy play for him.
Keynes is a senior. They thought he was going to be all-conference this year, but injuries have denied him enough starts to be an all-conference player. But still, he's very talented and very aggressive. On 3rd down, Richard Williams needs a big play. Over the middle, incomplete. And the defense of Long Beach State hold. Tried to hit Darren Brightman.
But again, the 49ers brought the blitz, and Richard Williams had to get rid of that ball early.
And Tony Rhines will be called upon to root out a big one here for the Rebels. The dangerous Stacy Alexander standing back at his 35-yard line. There's a terrific kick over the head of Stacy Alexander. Bounces back for the 49ers, but what a kick there by Tony Rhines, 57 yards. UNLV is leading in this one, 34-28, 12 and a half minutes left.
I'll get it, Alex. Mel's Market. Here's your order.
What order?
Side of beef.
I didn't order.
Here's your delivery, sir.
What delivery?
Your Stroh's 30 packs.
Stroh's. Alex?
Nah.
Stroh's and Stroh Light. Fire brewed for smooth, consistent taste. And with 30 packs, you get more beer.
Pardon? Pierre's Pet Shop. Here's your poodle. Oh.
Alex.
The 1989 Toyota Camry. Comfort. Room. Toyota quality. One more thing for 89. Camry has room with a great view.
After that terrific kick by Tony Rhymes of 57 yards, the 49ers start at their 21-yard line. Trail into this game, 34-28. For Derek Washington, incomplete. A lot of fakes in that backfield, and Graham trying to cross up the defense of UNLV, but they wouldn't bite.
Well, they tried to run the play action quick screen to the left. John Foster, number 55, the Rebels linebacker, was right in Graham's face, and Graham had to double pump before he got rid of that ball and just threw it too hard. Not bad numbers for a quarterback, but not for a quarterback like Jeff Graham.
How high will Jeff Graham go in the NFL draft?
They're talking about him going in the top 5 or 6 quarterbacks in the country.
Greg Johnson in motion. And Graham again. Good protection. Wide open receiver. Johnson. That's a first down to the 39-yard line.
There, a good throw by Jeff Graham to Greg Johnson. We'll watch Graham. He's going to wait for Johnson to get open behind the zone. You can see the deep zone there on the left side of the screen, wide open. The cornerback did not get deep enough to cover Johnson, but the pro scouts, they like to watch a young quarterback bring his team back and win a game when Graham's in the situation he's in now.
18 yards on that hookup. It's 1st and 10. Graham back over the middle to Derek Washington, and he pays the price. Jody Reinhold there again.
Well, Jody Reinhold is not going to leave the middle of the field, so whenever the 49ers run that little delay with their backs out of the backfield, or a wide receiver like Washington comes over the middle, they better believe Jody Reinhold's going to be sitting waiting for him right there.
12 minutes left in this one. UNLV on the road leading 34-28. It's the Long Beach State 49ers. It was 21-all at halftime. A lot of fireworks in the first part of the third quarter. Now the defenses are starting to take control of this game. On 2nd and 6, Lafayette Shelton runs into Doc Y. And it'll be 3rd down upcoming for Long Beach State.
Well, Graham audibleized there. You could see him going from split backs to the I-back formation and audibleizing the ISO play, but a good job by Doc Y.
Well, this is a 3rd down and 4, and you know this man, Larry Reisberg, wants to convert. Trailing by 6, he doesn't want to kick it away with 11 minutes left in the game. 49ers 4 of 11 on 3rd down conversion. Quick out for Kelly Ryan. Well, he made a nice adjustment on the ball, and that's a big first down.
That was a quick out that took a long time to develop. We'll see it again. The ball's going to be thrown behind Kelly Ryan. This is one that Graham took a little long to get rid of, but watch Ryan, good concentration. You see that right foot down. He only needs 1 foot in bounds in college ball, and a good job of getting the first down.
At the 48-yard line, 6 catches today for Kelly Ryan.
Those are Derek Washington numbers.
Derek draws a lot of attention, and Ryan's the benefactor. On the reverse to Greg Johnson. Gets a block from his quarterback, Jeff Graham, and turns the corner. Ron Banks finally was able to run Johnson down.
So this is a play that Michael Fowler, number 27, the defensive back for the Rebels, is glad this is the last game of the season. He won't have to watch this block. Jeff Graham gets on him with his teammates tomorrow. But watch Graham, number 12. He does a good job of knocking Fowler on his back. Hey, these quarterbacks, those are usually the guys you want out front blocking for you.
Yeah, right. And who you kidding? Did you ever block in your career?
No, never.
I knew it. 2nd down and 4. After all that, it picks up 6, and this isn't going to pick up anything. Derek Nicholson, number 90, stood up to play, and Jim Bittner was hitting his tracks. And once again, the 49ers will be looking at a crucial third down situation.
Usually in this situation, you get man-to-man coverage. It's third down and 4, and the 49ers really do a good job with their backside of the backfield and running the crossing patterns.
Well, on the last third down and 4 situation, they hit Kelly Ryan. 3 of 6 on third down conversion. The 42-yard line. Graham. Wide open is Washington. A flag is down. Washington scores. Now we'll have to check the marker.
Charles Anthony, number 4, the safety for the Rebels, is calling pass interference on Washington.
That's the call. So Jeff Graham, that would have been an historic touchdown for him. It would have been his 41st to tie Jack Riley here at Long Beach State for the high water mark. But it will come back, and the 49ers that close to tying the game, and the PAT could have given them the lead, but not anymore.
And Graham did a great job of eluding the Rebels' pass rush and just being able to see Washington behind Charles Anthony.
And on the offensive interference, they lose the down, so it's 4th down, and they have to punt it away. Not only lose the touchdown, they lose ball possession. Lujan has had a tough afternoon.
How tough is that on your team when you've got a chance to score the go-ahead touchdown and extra point, and here you end up punting the ball away?
10 men on the line of scrimmage. They peel back for the return, and Lujan continues to struggle. It's a kind bounce, but it'll take it down to the 22-yard line. 9 minutes, 4 seconds left. The 49ers nearly have the lead, but they don't. It's still UNLV by 6.
Are you looking for the best movies on TV? Well, look no further. Comcast and HBO are booming with blockbuster hits. Month after month, Comcast delivers the brightest stars right to your door without the hassles of the video store or the out-of-sight prices at the box office. Stick with Comcast and HBO for the best movies on TV.
We make television a family experience. Comcast and the Disney Channel bring families together with quality programming you can trust. Good old-fashioned entertainment is more than just a memory. It's a mainstay. In November, gather the family for a special birthday celebration. Comcast and the Disney Channel. Priceless entertainment at a surprisingly low price.
Just over 9 minutes left in the game. UNLV leading by 34-28. Rebels have won the last 2 years against the 49ers. Williams, wide open is Ricky Wills. And he's punched out of bounds by Stacey Alexander.
Again, Richard Williams goes to the audible. He sees the blitz, throws the quick pass, gets big yardage on first down, gets 8 yards on first down, 2nd down and 2. A great situation for a quarterback to be in. As we look at Randy Whitsitt, Randy coached Randall Cunningham and Steve Stallworth, the quarterback that replaced Randall Cunningham. He came here 2 years ago, working with Jeff Graham. Again, a new system for Jeff Graham, but Randy Whitsitt, I'm sure, is saying, man, just keep your composure when you get back in this game.
2nd down and 2. Going to be a first down. The pattern, too, for UNLV a little bit different. Throw it on first down, then sending Jackson into the middle of the line on 2nd down. That is not how the pattern that they've done for most of the year.
You know, they haven't. And Richard Williams really was not in the quarterback derby at the beginning of the year. It was Scott Sims and Charles Price. Williams was really not in the picture, and now we're seeing Williams come out the last game of the season and just have a super game. And one of the reasons Williams wasn't in there was because he's not a great runner, and Wayne Nutley wanted a quarterback that was a little more mobile.
But he's very intelligent and very accurate in throwing the ball. Over the middle, Ricky Wills, and oh, what a hit from R.J. Coors, and it's incomplete. And that'll fire up the 49ers. Oh, if it doesn't, nothing will.
Well, he fired up Ricky Wills there. Wills a good job just to get back on his feet. You see him adjust his helmet. But again, a perfect throw by Richard Williams, but watch the hit R.J. Coors puts on Ricky Wills. Highlight material.
That's how they diagram it defensively. Get the shoulder pad in there.
And as a receiver, then you kind of get up and say, no, that really didn't hurt.
Yeah,
as
right.
you're trying to get your breath.
R.J. Coors was shaken up earlier in the year, missed a few games. Had a knee problem. Nothing wrong with him now. Williams in the flat. Had a short pickup there to Darren Brightman.
Darren Brightman shows good hands for a fullback. Fullbacks usually wear the bigger shoulder pads, so when he passes it's a little higher, it's harder for them to get up to it. But again, a good catch by Brightman. Brightman's just having a super game for the Rebels today.
Picked up 4, but the Rebels are looking at 3rd and 6. Approaching 8 minutes left in this game.
But they're getting the ball out. They're inside their own 40. They've got a punter like Tony Ryan. So even if they don't get the first down, you know that Jeff Graham and his offensive team are not going to have good field position.
McCardle wide right, Bernard Jackson to the left. Duffy pressuring Williams, who gets free. Out of bounds. Wanted Bernard Jackson on the near sideline. Good defensive coverage from the free safety, Keith Washington.
But again, a great move by Richard Williams to get away from the tackle and eluding the sack by Daniel Duffy. You see Bernard Jackson getting up kind of gingerly.
He, by the way, is not related to Tommy Jackson. Tommy's from Los Angeles, and Bernard is from Georgia. Ryan's just hit that 57-yarder. That's another good one. Alexander fielding it at his 13. Lost it in the sun and then found the handle. Out to the 20, maybe the 21-yard line. Got a good block turning the corner from 94, David Riley. Friday at 10 o'clock, Prime Ticket tips off its college hoop schedule when UC Irvine, the Anteaters, visit the San Diego State Aztecs. Prime Ticket will carry 44 college basketball contests this season. Prime Ticket, sports television at its very best. 7.5 minutes left in the game. UNLV leading by 6. And the 49ers with another chance. They just had a TD to Derek Washington called back. Looking to set up that screen. And Brian Browning has blockers. To the 30. And out of bounds with another first down off that screen. That has been very effective for him today.
But a great individual effort by Brian Browning. The 49ers, when you throw this much, you know in practice you work on the screens a lot. We'll watch Jeff Graham. He plants his feet before he goes into his back pedal to set up the screen. Watch Brian Browning make a good move around number 24, Rodney Crozier, to get the first down in a big play, get good field position for the 49ers.
Brian Browning, big reception there out of the backfield for 11 yards. Inside counter to Lafayette Shelton, and he stood up by John Foster, number 55.
The 49ers have run that play 6 or 7 times today, and as a defense, once you see it play that many times, you recognize the blocks and the keys, and you kind of stay home and don't really overrun it.
You don't think Wayne Nunley's animated about this final game? Wants the end of the season on a positive note. He's letting that defensive unit know it.
Nunley's excited about next year. He's got a lot of people coming back. He's got his program kind of in a position that he'd like to be right now. A tough year for him.
Second down and 10 for Jeff Graham. And again, he wanted Bittner, and he's wide of his target. Now Graham's going to have to come up with a big third down play.
Graham knows with the way the Rebels are playing on offense, they're eating the clock up. Richard Williams is throwing the ball well. They're throwing the high percentage passes. He needs to get a first down here.
And the clock is becoming a factor now. 6 minutes and 40 seconds remain. A big third down for Jeff Graham. Lafayette Shelton breaks a tackle and has a first down. What an effort by that running back, the senior from Compton, California.
Shelton is about 3 yards short of getting the first down, but watch when he catches this ball. He's going to turn and run over number 7, Kevin Harris. There he breaks the tackle of Robinson, but see the hit he puts on Harris to break through that tackle and get the first down. Individual effort there.
First down to the 43-yard line. Not going to get any prettier than that from Lafayette Shelton. Graham goes to Derek Washington, who was his secondary receiver. That's a sign, a sure sign of a veteran quarterback. He looked to his near side. Nobody was open, and then he went back to this guy, Derek Washington.
Remember, that secondary is reading the eyes of the quarterback. Graham spent so much time on his right side that Washington was wide open on the left sideline. There you see passing yardage pretty well even, and whoever thought Richard Williams would have 234 yards passing.
But right now, Jeff Graham is directing the offense downfield. Right at the midfield stripe. Over the middle. Another first down for Long Beach State. Gus Nellinger made the stop for UNLV, a reserve linebacker out of Thousand Oaks, California. But Graham is starting to pick the Rebels apart.
Well, he's starting to move the ball around. He's throwing to his wide receivers, throwing at his tight end, throwing to the backs. So the Rebels are just kind of sitting in a zone defense, almost a prevent defense, and that prevent has never really prevented anybody from ever not moving the ball.
Come on, D.
5.5 minutes remain. UNLV leading by 6. Long Beach State knowingly trying to get in the end zone and get that PAT and get the lead. Lafayette Shelton darting back inside. He saw that the outside was closed off. So the defense wants to do, though, is close off the outside and force that running back inside.
But one thing we've seen is the 49ers running back's ability to make the good cuts on this sloppy field where the Rebels have really had problems.
Lafayette Shelton, 13 carries, 50 yards. He had the first touchdown of the game. It seems like a long time ago. It was a 15-yard dash. Made it 7-0 at the time. A lot of points since then. Second down and 7 at the Rebel 39. For Washington, what a catch. Derek Washington inside the 20. Michael Fowler can't defend him any better than that.
We didn't see Derek Washington a lot in the first half, but here in the second half, when Jeff Graham knows he needs to move the ball, he goes to his favorite wide receiver. Watch Washington go up. That's how a wide receiver's got to catch the ball. Both hands, you see him watch the ball in, not concerned with the hit he's going to take.
That's a 19-yard pass. And what a catch by Derek Washington. He had a 20-yard TD in the first half. First down at the 18. The counter. Shelton trying to get outside. And Anthony runs him down.
Up easy, up easy, up easy.
Had Charles Anthony not diagrammed that play, Lafayette Shelton was gone.
Well, there you saw they were up with the blitz. When you're in the blitz situation, your defensive backs are man-to-man on the backs. Anthony had Lafayette Shelton man-to-man and had the speed to run him down on the outside.
4 minutes and 21 seconds left in the game. Remember, a field goal would cut the lead to 3 points, but I don't think that's what Larry Reisbig is thinking about. 10th play of the drive. 49ers need a touchdown and a PAT to get the lead. Graham going to the near sideline for Washington. Touchdown! Graham and Washington were denied earlier in this quarter on a penalty. Not this time. With 4:17 left in the game, the big one ties it at 34. Now Reisbig can get the lead with a PAT.
Well, Al Hemmons, they did this to him in the first half where they threw the fade pattern. Graham, a great throw, and they're the career TD passes. Jeff Graham ties Jack Riley with 41 for the career.
So he gets 2 touchdown passes in the air today. The crucial PAT by Van Steenkist is a line drive, and it's good. So the 49ers, bidding to go 4-3 in the Big West, lead 35-34. And for Jeff Graham, another touch throw. He's got such softness on his passing. Unbelievable.
Such a big man with such a strong arm, and the pro scouts love to see this. He's got to feel great. This is a perfect throw to Derek Washington. Hemmons has good coverage on Washington, but Washington, great concentration going up and fighting for the ball. We'll see it from another angle. You see Jeff Graham put air under this ball, let your wide receiver run to the ball. There you see Washington going up at the highest point and making a great catch.
But Dave, some quarterbacks throw the hard ball, and it's tough for a receiver to handle. It seems to me when Graham throws it, it almost comes in like a baby. It's so nice and soft.
Well, you can talk to receivers on teams, and you ask them about the quarterbacks, and some of them, they say, a quarterback throws a ball that feels like a rock when you catch it. It just jars you. But Graham throws that good spiral, a strong arm. He's got good velocity, but the ball's easy to catch.
We saw Graham come down the field in the final 2 minutes and beat Cal State Fullerton. Here he takes his team 79 yards, 10 plays, 3 minutes, 15 seconds, a 16-yard touchdown pass to Derek Washington. Now the Rebels, plenty of time though, 4 minutes and 17 seconds. The senior quarterback, Richard Williams, will have his chance to try to give the Rebels the lead. What a ball game. And Steenkist, a short kick, and Wills will return from his 17-yard line. Across the 35-yard line, Pepper Jenkins makes the stop, but good field position for UNLV as Jeff Graham looks on. The numbers, very accurate. A couple interceptions have plagued him, but pretty good totals.
Well, that's usually the numbers you see Jeff Graham end up a game with. Now he's just got to hope his defense, which really hasn't been effective against the Rebels, can hold up and keep a win for him. But what a storybook ending for this quarterback, Richard Williams. His first and only start of the year. He just needs to get into field goal position for Jim Cook.
UNLV has 2 timeouts remaining. Long Beach State has all 3 of theirs. Darren Brightman gets away from Quigley, gets a first down, and skips out of bounds.
Remember, Jim Cook can hit from that 53 to 55-yard range, so Richard Williams just has to protect the ball. He's got 4 downs in each series here. He needs 1 completion out of those 4 downs to move the sticks. Great job by Darren Brightman of getting the first down.
Ideally, Wayne Nunley would like to have, I know it sounds crazy with only 4 minutes left, a time-consuming drive and score. Didn't want to give Jeff Graham too much time, if indeed they do take the lead. From the 48-yard line, they'll stay on the ground. Jackson's denied, cannot find a crease.
Remember, Wayne Nunley has a lot of confidence in his running game. The way Darren Brightman and Tommy Jackson have been running today. Take your time. There's 3:47 left in the game. You really don't have to rush it. They're on the 50-yard line. Just get in there, run solid plays, and hope your players will execute for you.
And again, I think it's the philosophy. Let's not score too quickly. Try to get the touchdown or the field goal at the end of the game and win it right here on 2nd down and 8 at the 50-yard line. 3 minutes, 20 seconds left. 35-34, 49ers. Pressure. What a marvelous effort finding his tight end Welch for a first down. It appeared that Richard Williams was going to be sacked, but somehow he found the tight end Welch.
You think this young man won't remember the afternoon he had here in Long Beach? Richard Williams, this play's designed to go to the left, and all-out blitz by the 49ers, but he finds Robert Welch to his right. Now watch Welch's effort to break a tackle by Pio Goodnay and get the first down and put the Rebels in great field position.
UNLV at the 35-yard line. 3 minutes, 13 seconds left in the game. Rebels need a field goal to get the lead. Williams, not bashful, throwing again. Intended for Wills, incomplete.
Again, the audible when he sees the all-out blitz from the linebackers of the 49ers. That time they've run that play so many times that the defense has recognized it, so that rather than run the slant, you hope maybe the receiver would run the fade. Wayne Nunley, this victory is so important to him after the last month that his team's gone through.
3 minutes and 9 seconds remain. Second down and 10. Bernard Jackson in motion. Williams again is throwing. For Jackson. Incomplete. Broken up again by Stacy Alexander. Well, it's 3rd and 10. From here, it would be a 52-yard field goal attempt if Williams can't get his first down throw.
And remember the condition of the field, Randy, here between the hash marks. The longer the field goal, the more important the plant foot for the field goal kicker. So from this distance, it's not a good shot for Jim Cook.
18 of 33, but he needs one here. Pressured over the middle for Welch, broken up by Coors, but there's a flag down.
When the 49ers were in this 3rd down and long situation, Larry Rice-Big called for the all-out blitz by the linebackers. Coors is going to have Welch all alone here. Williams does a great job. Watch the pressure. He can't step up as he throws this. The ball's going to be a little bit behind Welch. The official calls Coors, and you can see his left arm wrapped all the way around the right arm of Robert Welch.
The interference gives UNLV a first down at the Long Beach State 20-yard line. Now well within the range of Jim Cook. Now with 2 minutes and 59 seconds left in the game, UNLV may get conservative here and stay on the ground, knowing that they're in Cook's range. Jackson, 15, down to the 11 as he thunders through the Long Beach State defense. Canes drags him down.
Right now, Richard Williams, every time he goes in the huddle, the first thing he says to his backs, men, we're going to run the ball, but make sure you wrap it and don't put the ball on the ground.
Larry Rice-Big pacing the sideline. Second down and 1. 2.5 minutes left. UNLV trying to recapture the lead, trailing by a single point. Jackson again at the 10. Has a first and goal as he's finally stood up. There's Jim Cook. Probably saying, I'm a senior, I'd like to win it right here.
He hasn't had a great year. It's been a tough year for Jim Cook. He's probably one of the hardest working players on this UNLV team, and believe me, this would be a great way for him to end his career.
1st and 7 for UNLV TD. Timeout Williams. Saw something in the defense he didn't like. Rebels now will only have 1 timeout remaining. 1:56 left. We're coming down to a climactic conclusion. Long Beach State clinging precariously to a 1-point lead.
Oh, look at this. It's priceless.
Naturally.
It's Mom and Dad's 50th wedding anniversary.
Here we go.
Oh, wait, I'm going to charge it with the American Express card. That way it's automatically insured.
Hi, did you get it?
Hi, Mom.
Terrific.
You won't believe it. Don't worry. Remember, I used the American Express card. So it's insured.
Lost, stolen, or damaged. A way to protect the things you buy. Membership has its privileges.
There's something new out there. For all of you, the truck for 89. The all-new Toyota 4x2 Extra Cab SR5. Now available V6 power. Real backseat space. And a new look that can only say one thing. Toyota quality.
Got it all now.
Toyota, who could ask for anything more?
College Football 88 is brought to you by Toyota. Quality right down the line. Who could ask for anything more? Toyota. And by Stroh's and Stroh Life. Now you're talking good times, and Stroh's is spoken here. 1 minute and 56 seconds left in this game. And UNLV has reached the 7-yard line of Long Beach State, trying to capture the lead and perhaps the game. Twin receivers to the left, Wills and McCardle. Out of the eye, the deep pitch to Jackson. At the 5, touchdown, Tommy Jackson. A 7-yard scamper, and UNLV has the advantage.
What a great run by Tommy Jackson, and when you need it down here, you go to your best back, and that's Tommy Jackson. Jackson did a great job. You want to say, if I can't get the touchdown, make sure I stay in bounds and keep the clock running, but did a great job of cutting back. Then watch Jackson on the pitch. It's a sweep to the right. Jackson gets the ball. Good block by Brightman out in front. He makes Canes miss right there. Number 99, Chuck Reap, who's had such a good game against the Rebel running game, can't stop Tommy Jackson for the go-ahead touchdown.
His 6th rushing TD this year. And now UNLV will go for 2 points, leading by 5 at 1:51 left. With that in mind, they have Wills wide to the right, McCardle deployed to the left. Jackson and Brightman are behind quarterback Richard Williams. He has Welch, the tight end, in motion as they go for 2. A rollout. The pass is good for the 2 points to Darren Brightman.
You talk about a storybook ending to your career. Richard Williams, the quarterback that threw only 1 pass all year, he'll roll out. Darren Brightman will run in the flat. You can see Brightman, he's in the flat, covered early. Williams has to take this a lot further out than he has to. There he wants to, and there's Darren Brightman wide open.
Richard Williams has had quite the game. His final game for UNLV. Had not started all season long. 3rd string. And suddenly called upon on the road after his team was beaten by San Jose State last week at home 42-0. He comes back and he puts 42 on the board.
Richard Williams, the 3rd string quarterback all year, has run the scout team for the Rebels, has sat on the bench and contributed, has been a positive aspect of this team, and come in and had the game of his life.
Now the flip side, Jeff Graham still has 1:51 left. He has all 3 timeouts, and wouldn't it be something if he takes him down the field, maybe throws for a touchdown and breaks the all-time Long Beach State record? It's been that kind of day.
This has been a great game. Two teams that are rebuilding, have had a tough year on both sides, and to come back and play like they have in this last game, both have a lot to be proud of.
Jim Cook, and remember Stan Davis is deep, and he had an 83-yard kickoff return for a TD in the 3rd quarter. And it will be Stan Davis from near the goal line. And he's in trouble. Charles Anthony was the first, then Gerald Robinson cleaned up.
Come on, defense!
The great return for a touchdown, and then the miss and the mistake here with the bobble puts his team in as bad a field position as you can be in. They've got 3 timeouts, but Jeff Graham would be a miracle here to get back and get a touchdown against the Rebels.
On the 3.
284 yards. Threw for 352 yards against the Rebels last year.
He's going to have to add 97 yards to that total if they're going to win this game.
Good protection. Looking. Where's he going to go with it? Throws it into a crowd. A flag is down back at the line of scrimmage. But again, Jeff Graham ran by the line of scrimmage. That's the 2nd time today.
I think they're going to call offensive linemen downfield, Randy. A lot of times when the play takes that long to develop, the offensive line, they lose where they are, their position on the field.
Minute 35 left in this football game.
You see Jody Reinhold, number 46 there, asking Wayne Nunley what he wants to do with this penalty.
Well, there's your answer. They've refused it. 2nd down now and 10. So Jeff Graham has a lot of territory to try to cover, and not very much time. Pressured. That's completed to the tight end, Brian Wiss. And it's a first down. And Wiss is slow to get up. What a clutch grab by the tight end Wiss, a junior from San Bernardino, California.
And Wiss is going to stay down. The 49ers going to their 2-minute offense, but with Brian Wiss down, they'll get an official's timeout. They'll save a timeout. They still have 3. Jeff Graham will have a chance to get his players into the huddle and get back to the line of scrimmage and not use one of their timeouts. You see Brian Wiss, who's been such a great player for these 49ers. You hate to see that so late in the game, the last game of the year. You hope it's not a serious injury.
Clock has been stopped for the injury and because the chains must be moved. Jeff Graham is calling the play, as you can see, at the line of scrimmage. The fact that he's a veteran. Here's where all that knowledge comes to play. Brown into motion. First down to the 47-yard line to Rosie Humphrey. Number 87, he just replaced Wiss, and now he's shaken up.
You got to remember, Rosie Humphrey's been on the sideline the whole game. He's not loose. He comes in, runs his first pattern. Watch Graham, a great throw, 29 yards to Humphrey, but watch the shot Charles Anthony puts, the double hit that Humphrey gets. Remember, this kid has not warmed up. He comes out tight and takes a hit like that.
That's not the way you want to be introduced to the game. But to his credit, he held on to the football.
Great job of concentrating on the ball, and a great job of holding on after the hit he took.
And let's credit Graham. He's moved this team really half the distance already. He needed about, 97 yards. He's taken him halfway. Hasn't used his timeouts yet.
Rosie
and still
Humphrey
has a minute 9, David.
Charles Anthony and Michael Fowler, tremendous hit. Double hit on Humphrey. Humphrey's up and walking off. What a tough way to come into a game and get one play and have to come out and get you.
Graham is trailing 42-35. But he's trying to rally the 49ers. His offense has accumulated 434 yards so far. For Johnson! And he catches it in traffic. Took it away from Anthony and Hammond. They're inside the 30-yard line with 54 seconds left.
Two of the most amazing catches and plays. I've seen such a great job of catching the ball, getting hit, and keeping possession.
Graham trying to get his team in the end zone and maybe go for the 2. Far sideline to Lafayette Shelton. He's out of bounds at the 24-yard line. 44 seconds left. Who wrote this script?
And remember, because of the injury on the 2 receptions, they did not have to use a timeout. The 49ers still have their 3 timeouts. When Humphrey and Wiss both caught the ball and were injured, it was officials' timeouts, so the 49ers didn't have to use a timeout.
Jeff Graham has thrown for 359 yards. Now remember, he threw for 518 at Hawaii. He was stymied for a few minutes in the 3rd quarter, but he has emerged again here in the 4th quarter. Graham is pressured by Banks. He's going to run with it. He's got a first down to the 10. He cuts back to the 5. And it's 1st and goal, and they'll use one of those timeouts, I'm certain now. Although the first down stops the clock. 32 seconds left, and Jeff Graham giving up his body, running downfield.
I don't think you can ask for more from 2 teams that are playing here today, the Cal State Long Beach 49ers and the Rebels. Watch Jeff Graham. He's going to drop back. The Rebels in zone coverage. Graham's going to roll to his left. The defenders think that he's going to step out of bounds, but watch the cut that he makes back into the middle of the field to try to get into the end zone. Big pickup.
There's been a personal foul call, and it's against Long Beach State. Now the 49ers have to call the timeout.
Larry Weisbeck has to be so upset with this call. The senior quarterback gets the ball down inside the 5-yard line. We'll see if we can see where the clip. You see Graham rolling to the left. There you can see right there, it's hard to see the Cal State Long Beach player. You can see the trip that he does on the Rebel defender, but a great individual effort by Jeff Graham. There, Randy Whitsitt. You can see Randy Whitsitt and Dave Hoover, the offensive coordinator, and Randy Whitsitt there, the coach on the left, who's the quarterback coach, talking to Jeff Graham. Graham's got to be a little bit winded after that run and the hit he took.
Isn't it ironic? Both those coaches formerly of UNLV, both Hoover and Whitsitt. First time out, they have 2 left, 32 seconds, and Graham still, despite the penalty, in shouting distance. Just inside Wayne Nunley's 25-yard line.
Well, and the tough thing there, too, Graham took the timeout. There was the penalty. He wasn't aware there was a penalty. He took a timeout, so it takes the 49ers down to 2 timeouts left with 32 seconds left on the clock.
The dangerous Derek Washington to the right. He's caught 2 TDs today. Brown in motion. Graham back over the middle for Johnson. It's 1st and goal at the 4-yard line with 25 seconds left. That's 21 yards. Graham's over 400 in the air.
This is a great throw to Greg Johnson right on the numbers to get that ball back inside the 5-yard line. And a good job of not using the 2-minute offense and using a timeout here. It saves 25 seconds on the clock. They've got one timeout left. Tremendous half for this Cal State Long Beach team.
Larry Risebig has 25 seconds. All right, I'm going to ask you the question. If they get it in the end zone, you go for 1 in the tie or 2 for the win? I guess you got to go for the win.
I would say Larry Risebig would go for the win. His program needs a win. To go for a tie, it doesn't do anything for your program. So I think for sure he'd go for 2. What do you think Richard Williams is thinking now about Jeff Graham? Don't steal my thunder.
Whatever you can do, I can do better. That's been the theme here today, and both quarterbacks have been magnificent. It's been an incredible game. Remember, this drive started back at the 49er 3-yard line. In 1 minute and 26 seconds, they've reached the UNLV 4. 25 seconds left. Kelly Ryan in motion. For Washington. A flag is down. This one will go against Charles Anthony.
I'm sure no one in the stadium thought that the 49ers wouldn't throw this play. It was man-to-man, bump and run coverage by Charles Anthony. Again, the fade play to Derek Washington. And it looks like a good coverage here by Charles Anthony. You see Washington, but you can see the early hit that Charles Anthony puts on Washington.
That's half the distance to the goal. It's 1st and 2 yards to go for the TD with 21 seconds. Well, they have the option with 2 timeouts. They could run with Lafayette Shelton or throw with Graham. Remember, Graham's trying to set an all-time touchdown mark throwing here at Long Beach State. The pitch out to Bittner. Fumble. He was ruled down. UNLV comes out of there with it. Gerald Robinson, now he realized that the fumble came after Bittner hit the ground.
How can you ask for a more exciting game? We'll watch the run here, and you know Larry Risebig is thinking, cover the ball, protect the ball. The quick pitch to Bittner. You can see here as he's going down. Tough to tell from there.
It was close. See it from another angle. Of course, no instant replay in college football, but a play like this, you say, I'd like to have one.
24, Rodney Crozier. That ball was a fumble.
Sure looked like it.
The official called his knee down, and it remains the 49ers ball, but from that angle right there, it appeared that James Bittner fumbled the ball before his knee was down.
49ers forced to use a timeout. They have 1 remaining. They still need 4 yards on 2nd down.
Interesting that they would do the quick pitch to James Bittner, their fullback, rather than Lafayette Shelton, who has so much more speed.
Washington wide left. Kelly Ryan deployed to the right. Bittner and Shelton behind quarterback Jeff Graham. Rebels have a 5-man front. Ryan in motion. Ryan, touchdown. It's 42 for UNLV, 41 for Long Beach State. Now the final timeout for the 49ers will come to the near sideline. Jeff Graham has just set the all-time 49er record.
And Kelly Ryan with coverage by Michael Fowler. A great throw, the ball low and outside by Jeff Graham to break the record with a tremendous drive from his own 3-yard line.
But Randy Whitsitt, the quarterback coach, and Larry Reisbig, the head coach, want one more play, one more big one. You work all season long as Graham's name's at the top of the list for this moment, to end on a positive note.
And what a great way to break that record if he should come back, throw the touchdown to break the record that gets them close enough to get the 2 points on the win.
You don't think Wayne Nunley's nervous right now? His team has fought hard all day long, but so have the 49ers. A classic battle on prime ticket.
You've got to give Wayne Nunley and Larry Reisbig all the credit in the world to get their teams up when they're not going anywhere.
One play for the game. The defense of UNLV and the offense of Jeff Graham and the 49ers. Senior from Costa Mesa, California. One play. Ryan left, Washington to the right. There's 12 seconds left. For Browning, incomplete. UNLV holds. Well, an onside kick will be forthcoming. There's still 12 seconds left. Larry Reisbig dejected. Wayne Nunley cautiously optimistic.
Larry Reisbig, though, has to be so happy. There, number 6, Gerald Robinson. We'll watch Robinson on Brian Browning. Derek Washington there in the middle of your screen runs the slant. They run Browning on the flat pattern, and great coverage by Gerald Robinson. And there you see the reaction of the coaches. Randy Whitsitt, you can see him jumping up and down, and Wayne Nunley saying, thank you very much. Jeff Graham, he's got to be so disappointed. After the 4th quarter that he played, his 3rd quarter, he was down, really didn't have his club in sync or moving, and came back in the 4th quarter to have a tremendous showing.
Bittersweet for Jeff Graham setting the record, but not getting the lead for Wayne Nunley.